What's going on, guys? So I'm here with the One Bite frozen pizzas, which Dave Portnoy himself has deemed a perfect 10. I don't know about that, but definitely going to give it a try. So I got both these from Walmart. There's a total of 4 different flavors, and I got the pepperoni one and the supreme. There's also a 5 cheese one, and the other I think is meat lovers. These were around $7. I think it was like $6.80. I actually should have been doing this review way earlier, but I went to Walmart a couple days after these first came out, and they wouldn't sell to me because they weren't in the system. So, I went all the way to the frozen section, grabbed 4 of the pizzas, went to the checkout, and then it wouldn't scan. And then they're like, yeah, we're just not going to sell it to you. So I had to walk out empty-handed, and that I was a little bad about that. So I didn't go back for like a couple weeks to get these. So that is why this review is late. Anyways, before we go and cook one of these, I think I'm going to do the pepperoni one just because it's closer to Dave's gold medal slice, which is just pure cheese. The Supreme has so much stuff on it, it probably will affect the review. But I'm going to wait for the oven to heat up. Got to heat up to 450 degrees and then bake it for 10 to 13 minutes. So while we're waiting for that, might as well filibuster for time. Let's talk about me and pizza. So I'm here in California. California has some good pizza, but if you want like a straight up standard, really good, just tomato sauce, cheese, pepperoni slice here, you're not gonna find it. It's all pretty bad. If you want, like specialty pizzas where they have kind of fancy ingredients and they're more kind of premium, like we do have some pretty good stuff here. But if you want just that really great New York slice, you're not gonna find it in California. And so my first time to New York was actually in 2012, where I did not actually have a single slice of pizza. I was there for an entire week. I didn't have any pizza because I was too busy going around visiting friends and just trying all the different foods. And I thought, how good could the pizza be? Like, how much better could it be than just what you get from California, right? So I didn't bother. But then in 2019, I was watching Thrillist, right? So they had that show with Mark Iacono and Scott Wiener, Really Dough, where they're just going around New York, kind of trying all these interesting pizza places. And then I found out about Lucali. Mark Iacono owns Lucali and how it's one of the best pizza restaurants ever, and things like that. And I started doing a little bit more research. And a friend of mine, I mentioned Lucali to him, and he mentioned, oh, hey, there's this guy who goes around, he does these pizza reviews, and he gave Lucali a pretty good score. And so I checked out the video. Dave gave Lucali a 9.3, and then my friend was telling me, oh, it's very rare for him to give anything 9 or higher. So I was intrigued. And so in April of 2019, I had a business trip to Boston, and I decided to stay a little bit longer afterwards and take an Amtrak down to New York so I could just try all these pizza places. And so one of the first I tried was Lucali. I also went to DeFara. I went to Prince Street. I went to Scars, a couple other places, and that really changed my mind about what I thought of New York pizza. It just absolutely blew my mind. New York pizza is just so much better than pizza you can get outside New York. Maybe with the exception of New Haven. I still haven't been to New Haven yet. I heard the pizza there is amazing, but like New York pizza is just one of a kind. It's such high quality. You can tell they really care about the craft. And so actually September of 2019, I went back to New York a second time just so I could eat at more pizza places. So then I tried like Joe's and a couple other plaese. The names escape me right now, but just went on another crazy pizza adventure, trying all these great spots across New York. If you want me to rank what I think the best places are, and obviously this is going to be controversial, not that controversial. I think DeFara is the best out of all those places I tried. I think DeFara was definitely number one. Lucali I think is really, really good, but it is a little bit more fancy style. So if you want to kind of separate it into its own fancy category, then I think it's really, really high up there. And I really like Joe's. And for Prince Street, I actually like the slice more than the square, which is probably going to make a lot of people angry. I felt like the square was a little bit too doughy I really like the square at Defara. I found that to be the perfect amount of chew and flavor, everything like that. But the slice at Prince Street was quite good. So yeah, it's all. I mean, honestly, most of the pizza was absolutely phenomenal. Even the bad pizza in New York is better than the pizza in California. So there I said it. So anyways, I found out about Dave's pizza reviews, and so I just started, just consuming them. At first, kind of in random order, and then I started kind of just watching them from. I think I started like 2 or 3 years before, and just kept watching them chronologically. And so I've pretty much watched like every single review he's done, or pretty close. Maybe not some of the earlier ones, but every day when the new review comes out, I do watch it, and I've definitely enjoyed his reviews. I like. Dave's a funny guy. I really love the videos, and so when he was coming out with a pizza, of course, I had to try it. I would like to think I have a pretty good palate. Some may disagree, but that's right. Some may disagree, but if you look at my channel, I've eaten fast food and garbage all the way up to French Laundry. So I have run the entire gamut of good, crappy, and fancy high class foods. So I would like to think I'm a pretty good judge of taste. But yeah, let's heat this up and see how it tastes. Also, I just thought might as well do an unboxing. So let's actually take a look at the box. So this has pepperoni, mozzarella, parmesan. Okay, pretty standard. It's a product of Canada. That's interesting. I wonder why this had to be manufactured in Canada. It's got a lot of calories, a lot of carbs, typical pizza. Let's open it up. Okay, first thing I noticed, the pepperoni is not distributed evenly. It's kind of around the edges. That's also probably because I kind of stored it sitting like this in my freezer, so it probably moved. So I'll probably rearrange that. I'm gonna put this in the oven. I do have a pizza steel, and so I'm not just gonna put it on the center rack. Hopefully I'll get a little bit more crisp on the bottom. All right, let's put that in for the full 13 minutes. So we got the pizza at the oven. Overall, looks pretty good on top. Nice color. The bottom is just very, very pale, so don't expect anything like leopard spotting or anything like that. But yeah, they said to let it rest for a little bit, a couple minutes, so I've already done that. Let's go ahead and cut it apart. Yeah, we'll take the slice right over here. Okay, it's really, really hot, but as you see, the bottom has basically no color, even though I cooked it on stone, so let's see. Smell wise, I don't really actually smell much. A little bit of cheese, but yeah, I'm not getting like a very heavy tomato aroma from this. All right, one bite, everyone knows the rules. This is not good. This is incredibly doughy. I mean, you can even see from right here like how doughy it is. I'm not sure if it's gonna show up on camera, but it's really, really doughy. Let me try the crust. Crust with a little bit of crunch. Yeah, the dough is just very bland. I mean, if it was a thinner crust, kind of like what Dave likes, I think this would be a lot better. Well, the toppings are not bad. I think it's just really the bread itself that kind of drops the score for this a lot in my book. I mean, maybe if you gave it extra time in the oven, it would be better. But I'm following directions. Let me grab another slice. I want to make sure I give this a fair shot. Yeah, it's not crunchy at all. Very, very bland bread. Toppings are okay. It was quite expensive too. This was like $6.70. I'm gonna give this like a 5.8. That's about where it's at. It's definitely not. It's really not the level of other frozen pizzas I've had. This is definitely not a 10, Dave. Obviously, a man's got to make some money, right? So he's got to shill his own pizza. Just like Totino's always a 10, right? But yeah, definitely, I feel like you could have done a little better on this. So I'm a little disappointed, but I'll still keep watching the pizza reviews. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Later. All right, I thought maybe some of you out there would also want to see what I thought of the Supreme. Also, another thing I wanted to try was actually to cook it a little bit longer, just so it's not as doughy. So maybe, there could be variances in my oven. Also, I use a pizza steel, which it does kind of go against what it tells you on the box to just put it directly on the center rack. And I'm gonna go a little bit above 13 minutes. I'm looking at probably maybe around 18 to 20 minutes. I still don't think we're gonna get any like browning on the bottom, but that's kind of to be expected from a frozen pizza. So while the oven is preheating, it's almost there. Let's open this up and see what it looks like. So over here we have pepperoni, we have red bell peppers, we have green bell peppers, we have some red onion. Looks like there's some sausage over here. So it pretty much runs the entire gamut of common pizza toppings. Okay, that is 20 minutes in the oven. Way above the recommended 13-minute cook time. Let's take a look at the bottom. Let's see what kind of undercarriage we have here. It's still pretty pale, but at least we got some brown, more like burnt edges around. Let's see if that affects the texture. It definitely looks a lot better than the 13-minute one, which I felt was a little bit undercooked. What's a good slice? This one here kind of has a little bit of everything, so let's grab this. Super hot. And burn my face. No flop. It's pretty good. Toppings falling all over. Undercarriage, as you can see, it's still fairly pale. All right, one bite. Everyone knows the rules. Yeah, this time you can actually hear a little bit of crunch. There's less of that doughy taste. It's decent crust. Definitely a lot better than before. I think it does need the longer cook time. Really improves the quality of it. It's just because I feel like the bread is just a little bit thick, and if you follow those directions, it is going to be a little bit undercooked. The bread itself is still a little bit bland, but I gotta say, like, for this pizza, like the toppings and the sauce are pretty good. Like pretty up there. The bread is still lacking, but it's much better. I would give this, I'm gonna say 6-8. So definitely a big improvement if you cook it for a little bit longer. All right, that is it for the Supreme Pizza.